Thank you, Steve, for that introduction and a reminder of where many of us have come from, humbler beginnings. And I have always viewed public service to be the highlight of my life. And I share that feeling with all of you because we know it's not an easy calling, but it gives us an opportunity truly to better the lives of our fellow citizens. And so I've always relished the opportunity to come before a group like this, representatives from various counties who share that common sense of why we do what we do every single day. So I'm honored to be here. And Steve, I want to thank you for embracing me, but I also want to thank you for the work you did a year ago when we talked about why there were not many women in rooms like this compared to our percentage of the population, something that he sort of noted as well. And we talked about creating a Women's Leadership Council, which we kicked off, and we did events around the state. And I'm really proud that over 62 women were elected in the last election, adding to the ranks of 245. So to all the women in the room, here. I want congratulations to all of you. It's something I personally believe that women are hardwired to do. We're used to juggling fighting teenagers at home and a lot of the other issues that make you strong for the job. So I've been working closely with my good friend Cheryl D'Onofrio since our county clerk days. It's great to see her as well. And one of the newest women elected is Laura Kern from Nassau County. I just had a chance to say hello to her. Good to see Laura here, and so many others. But I do also want to thank you, Steve, not just for recognizing the need for more women in public life, but also helping me work with you to deal with some of the issues that I've been asked to handle, and that is the heroin opioid task force. And we did some roundtables around the state, and I do want to commend the many county officials, like my own county executive, Mark Polenkar from Erie County, who has now been asked to speak nationally on what counties can do to help fight this crisis, which is just ripping apart families. And I want to give him a special round of applause. Mark, thank you for your leadership on this issue. And yes, I've been to all 62 counties so many times. It's just not a blur. It's been an honor. We've been around the world, or around the planet 7 times mile-wise. So just figure that one out. Obviously, I have a lot of time sitting in my car to be adding up these numbers, I know. But I want to welcome you. But I also want to just talk about the fact that now more than ever, and I've been in this business a long time, since the 90s, 14 years on a town board, county clerk, time in Congress, now lieutenant governor. Now more than ever, we need a partnership between our county officials, our local officials, and state government. Because for the first time in my lifetime, as someone who was counsel to Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan in Washington, at an era when I saw a lot of statesmanship, a lot of bipartisan collaboration. We worked on the drug bill, we worked on infrastructure, we worked on immigration in a bipartisan way, if you can believe that. Today, it's a different environment, and I'm not going to go into politics. I'm just simply going to talk about the fact that New York State has been under assault in ways that we could not have imagined. And we need to team up together to continue fighting for infrastructure dollars, transportation dollars, social services dollars, healthcare dollars, all the things that make the quality of life for our citizens better. So we're under assault, but I feel, as the governor does, and you'll hear from him tonight on this message, that we have to continue to find ways to collaborate as one team, one New York. And I know we can do this because there is far more that joins us than separates us when it comes to issues. And I have a list of a few issues I want to talk to you about. One of them is to find more ways to bring revenue dollars into the coffers of the counties so you can help keep down your tax burden. And the question is, why have we allowed internet sales to go untaxed when they're competing with little businesses like my mother's flower shop that she started a long time ago? Why not help do that? Thank you. Thank you for being a leader on this. This association has spearheaded this issue, and this is something that the governor believes can direct $100 million, if we do it right, into county coffers all over. So it's part of our initiative. The governor rolled this out, and we're going to need your support. You need to talk to your legislators here in Albany to make sure we can get that done. So thank you for that initiative and working together with us. The census. When I was a little kid, we had a lot more people representing us in Washington. We now have 27 members of Congress representing us, so it's no wonder that it's tough to get our voices heard because it's a body of 435. We have to make sure we get it right when it comes down to the census. And regardless of people's citizenship status, they're still using the services, the law enforcement protection, the social services, the education they're being offered. So everyone needs to be counted, including people in rural areas, in trailer parks, like my parents started in, where people fall through the cracks. And so the governor, for the first time ever, is saying this is something we're going to work closely with. We're going to help with the resources, the training. We have fellows going out to all your counties. We're collaborating with Cornell University to find big data ways. We can use technology to find these individuals to be counted, because so many of the formulas that direct money to your counties is based on your population, and we need to get that right this time. So we need your support, and for the first time ever, every single county and every borough has agreed to go forward with this initiative, and I want to commend you again for your leadership on this. We can get this done. Let's count every single person. It'll help us tremendously. Healthcare consortiums. This is something that has been requested by the counties because we know, and I remember trying to do 14 municipal budgets. Biggest driver of cost was the continuing increase in healthcare. Now with the individual mandate pulled out of the Affordable Care Act, we have to look at that, what that does to our ability to provide low-cost health care to our employees and make it available to citizens in our communities. We can do this by creating consortiums, and we've heard that call for help. So you're going to see guidance and regulations from the Department of Financial Services the next coming weeks. I'm not going to tip our hand. I'm not making an announcement, but I'm just going to say I think you'll be happy, okay? Happy with the way that's going to come out in the next couple of weeks. So you can look forward to getting more details on how you can make this happen in your areas as well. Again, another huge priority of ours has been creating jobs upstate. Now people say, what happened to your arm? This is from cutting 2,000 ribbons in all your districts in the last couple of years. You talk about repetitive injuries, too many ribbon cuttings all over New York State. Now we have actually had 6,000 projects, $5.4 billion, and so much of it invested in a place that previous administrations, I'm sorry to say, couldn't find on a map, and that is upstate New York. Okay, and I can speak about this because I'm from Buffalo, and I have a little firsthand experience about what it felt like to be overlooked by your state capital. Now, with all due deference to our dear friends in New York City, they have a lot more representatives here in Albany than we do in upstate New York, just based on populations, how it goes. But the political clout for so long has been downstate, and the resources, the economic development dollars, were not finding their ways to the southern tier, to the Mohawk Valley, to the Hudson Valley, to the North Country, to Western New York, Central New York, and the Finger Lakes. They weren't finding their ways until now. And under this governor, I'm very proud that we're going to continue asking for $750 million to continue the regional economic development councils. I chair all of them. I've been to every one of your communities, meeting with your elected officials and making sure this money is spent wisely, but encouraging more job growth. But believe it or not, there are people in this state capital who want to go back to the old way of where the money's given out based on your clout in committees, your political clout, your numbers, and that just doesn't work well for most of the states. So work with us to resist that. Let's stay the course, continuing the regional economic development councils. And something that I have seen that has transformed communities, the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. $10 million, a huge infusion of money to 20 communities thus far. We're going to keep it going everywhere from Plattsburgh to Westbury to Batavia to the southern tier. I have seen little communities that cannot believe it. I mean, people are really brought to tears when you say you have this money and now you can make the vision, the dream of your community come true, and we're going to continue that program, so we need your support for that as well. We talked about some of the challenges out of Washington. New York State was hit hard when the deductibility of state and local taxes was removed. Now, some people say, well, there's other people who are going to see a tax break. Here's what I'm asking. I'm not opposed to tax cuts for our citizens, but why did at the same time did you also have to eliminate something that has been part of the federal tax code since its inception? Why did you do that? Why did you make it less easier to stay in a state like New York? Why did you give an incentive for all the hard work we've been doing to go out the window, the people we've lured here, the people that are finally coming back, the businesses that are making this home? Why are we making it harder? So we need your help. In the meantime, the governor's trying to find creative ways to get us out from under this dilemma, because it's going to hurt us badly. Part of it is we'll go to court. The governor announced this recently. I don't know how successful that will be, but we have to find a creative way, because particularly in areas like Long Island and the Hudson Valley and New York City, the higher tax areas, they're going to get crushed with this. And that undoes all the work we've done to say that we continue to work with our state legislature to reduce your taxes. Lowest they've been, property to personal tax, manufacturing tax, and corporate tax in decades. And so there's no reason why we shouldn't all stand together and speak with one voice, say we can get this right, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that no person in the state of New York has to pay a penny more in taxes because of what the federal government did. That is our commitment, and we need your support with that as well. Lastly, I just want to talk, you can give that a round of applause, because we need you, folks. We need you. Lastly, infrastructure. This is something, I know it's not one of those sexy topics, what's going on underground with your sewer lines, your water lines, but clean water, I'll tell you right now, folks, when you turn on the tap and it does not come out clean for your children, we've got a problem. We have some problem areas in our state. So we're going to continue investing in the infrastructure to help the localities fund this, as well as our roads and bridges. When I was in Congress, one of my counties, and I won't name it because I love this county, 72% of the bridges were fracture critical at the time. Now, again, I remember the time when the federal government stepped up and said, we will help you with this. We had a lot of more money coming for infrastructure programs under Senator Moynihan and others. But of late, the federal government has said it's up to the states, and I'll tell you right now, the state is going to help you folks out, because we understand how important this is, not just for the citizens who live there, but it's also a competitive advantage when you're trying to lure businesses to your area. You have to have good airports, good bridges, good roads, good transportation networks. So that is another one of our commitments. So I want to wrap up by just saying, as I mentioned at the outset, in this time, in this day and age, when we just don't know what's coming out of Washington, D.C., I am proud to be in a state where there is collaboration. And yes, we will disagree perhaps on the means sometimes, but we will always agree on the ends. And that is making sure we have a incredible quality of life for our citizens, a business-friendly environment to ensure that we can continue to do our success in bringing more businesses here, and to make sure that people know that this is the Empire State. We're proud of it, and we want the world to know. Bring your business to New York State. It's a beautiful place. We've invested in tourism dollars, and you'll never look back. So thank you for all you do. Look forward to seeing you all this evening. Thank you.